Opening day, and here's the first pitch, and the season's over.
Good morning. The 3-day thing says it has to include the prologue. But like, if you reset the game without saving like I did, it goes right back to where you were without having played the song a time. Like, it resets the whole game. So I'm torn because first cycle takes forever. I'll just pick it up from here, and if it doesn't work, I'll just send in a video proving it. What am I doing wrong? I think my buttons got messed up because that's not the notes the song is supposed to be playing. Nice, sounds good. Yeah, see, that button is wrong. C down is wrong. And like every time I boot this damn emulator with the N64 controller, it gets jacked up. I knew I wasn't playing the song wrong. I'm like, I could swear this is how you play the song. Trying to figure out where the first owl stamp is. Woodfall Temple, 10 and 10:24 a.m. I mean, this is as far back as you can go without being in the prologue, so I don't see why this wouldn't count. If it doesn't, I'll submit the game footage to Retro Achievements for a manual unlock. I don't think it matters. I don't think I'm going to beat the whole thing before I have to go to work anyway. I'll have to use an owl statue to pick up where I left off. But either which way. Morning, bro, man. Or afternoon. It's the second time in like 8 hours I've had to disappoint the Happy Mask salesman. Good morning. Doing all right. How you doing?
Thank you!
Thank you for the follow. We appreciate that. Unskippable cutscenes. Unskippable cutscenes. Alright, now that we're done spending 15 minutes on Happy Mask Salesman. Yeah, it's going pretty good. Just started today, but overall it's been going good. Just need coffee. We were a little slow on this challenge yesterday, so we're going to see if we can run a little faster today. You don't have to spend like the entire game running backwards, but every little bit helps. No, we've been affiliated for about a year now. Owl Statue Swamp, Forest Maze, Bottle Potion, Rescue Witch, left, right, right, straight, left, left. I lost time there yesterday too. The other guide I had that gave the wrong directions for day one in the Forest Maze. So I went the wrong way twice and that cost me time. No, just hanging out. I work full time. I got 3 kids. I don't really have time to do much other than just hang out with people. Play some games, have fun. Okay, so 11:30, 12 o'clock. It's pretty tight timing to enter the Deku Palace by 8 a.m. Yeah, and we kind of just do our own thing and hang out, you know. It's a tight-knit little group, and we enjoy it. Well, they're both under 3 years old, so I don't know about that. Left, right, right, straight. I haven't been taking steps. I'm really not interested in it. I just let them find it organically, and that's good enough for now. I get too much work and responsibility during the day to turn this into a job. No. Again, I'm not turning this into a job. It's just for fun. Okay, left, right, right. Well, we're already ahead of yesterday's pace just via the fact that I didn't accidentally go the wrong way twice. Free boat cruise, yay! I was thinking it'd be almost impossible to get to the palace by 8 o'clock, but the clock doesn't move, now that I think about it, while you're on the boat tour. Oh, I didn't think to bring enough money to buy 6 magic beans. But then again, you can do that later. That's not that big a deal. I could literally just come back and buy them from the Deku Scrub here for... It would take the same amount of time, and it wouldn't be on day 1, so it would be... Definitely, it would be a little better. I mean, this is basically right at 8 a.m., so, I mean, that works. That was a really bad pattern. I was able to squeak by on the one side, but made up for it there. Yeah, well, we made up for it, hopefully, but... I haven't considered speedrunning anything for it because I don't know how to do any of the glitches. Even the simple ones. I think there are, but Glitchless still does glitches, which sounds ridiculous. But certain glitches are considered no major glitches, like super slides and whatnot. I mean, it's something I could certainly look into. Just not something I'd considered because of the glitches. Yeah, the any percent runs can be crazy. I'm pretty sure we just lost the run with that last mess up. Pope Squidward's doing all fairy rewards right now for world record grind. And then I think he's going back to 100%. The 2 times I got caught cost me the... may have cost me the run. According to the guide, the latest I should be saving at the owl statue is 10:24 a.m. It's already almost 10 o'clock, so... Getting caught kind of screwed me. No, you didn't. You had nothing to do with it. Just sucks because it's like, ugh, now I gotta listen to this guy going on and on and on again. You know what, let's do this. Switch my controller here. Let's take another attempt at Sonic 2, because I had just enough time to get maybe to Snowhead before work, and now I have to start over. I'm not gonna make it. Let's just update the title. Sonic 3D Blast Director's Cut is an incredible mod. I love that game. Fixed all the issues the original had. All right, so let's just screenshot this. So that they see it's in hardcore mode. Does your kid have school today, or is he on vacation? Or no, he must have been on vacation last week or the week before when he was visiting. Family, I think he said. Yeah. You were kid-free for a little while. I had to beat this act in under 25 seconds for an achievement. And it's a lot harder than it looks. I mean, it's not massively difficult. I got it within like 20 tries. But But you'd think you just spin dash and run through the whole level like it's nothing and you get it, but you don't. Well, 8:45 to 9 o'clock is about when I'm heading to work, so I know that feeling. When Cheeseburger was in school in Tampa, I think I used to drop him off. I think it was about the same, 7:30. Morning, Zero. I know out here they do elementary school and middle and high school different than they did in New York. In Connecticut and New York, it was high school, middle school, elementary school for start times. Out here, it's elementary school, middle school, and then high school for start times. Their logic being the younger kids are up early anyway. And the older kids sleep in more. Yeah, I used to drop him with a sitter to put him on the bus because I had to be at the dealership by 8 in the morning. New England does high school first or last? Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah, for me in Connecticut and New York too. Which I kind of think it makes more sense the way they do it out here, because the older kids get up later and go to bed later. Elementary school kids are always in bed early, and they're up at like 5, 6 in the morning. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, I was saying morning care and aftercare were a godsend when Cheeseburger was a kid. Good program. It was affordable. The kids liked it. For him, it wasn't a YMCA because we didn't have one nearby, but You know, similar type of program, kids just hanging around. Well, eh, it benefits. It's a good benefit. I wouldn't say need, per se. It's not like your poor son would be unable to survive as an adult without it, but it definitely helps. Well, he's older, you said, right? He's 7 or 8? So it's somewhat less about social skills as it is about just having kids to hang out with. Yeah, so that I mistook. I was thinking in my head developing social skills. I'm like, no, he's older. He's already worked on that. You know, it's funny, as an only child, sometimes you lament not having siblings to hang out with and to play with. And then as a child with a bunch of siblings, sometimes you lament not being an only child and having breaks in privacy and... You know, like my older sister, a good number of times growing up, would have preferred to be an only child. My 2 younger brothers and I were 4 years apart. Me, 2 years later, my brother, 2 years after that, my other brother. And, you know, we annoyed each other, but we played basketball, hockey, football, baseball, you know, so, like, it was good having them around to hang out with growing up. Bubble. Bubble! Bubble! Oh, you bastard.
Death.
Good morning. I had 3 brothers and 3 sisters growing up. Yeah. Now I'm down to 2 brothers and 3 sisters. I don't know why I grabbed those. It's a deathless run. I don't need the 1-ups. And I think it's only like 20 some odd rings that can appear on the screen at once if you get hurt. There's an upper pathway here I want to be able to take. Oh, it led to the same spot. Never mind. This one part here with the spring always gets me killed if I go too fast. And then sometimes I forget to count how many hits I've had on the boss, and I fall to my doom in the pit there. Top path for this hedgehog. Fucking flies. You know what's kind of crazy is I don't remember if I've had a second cup of coffee or not yet. And if I haven't, then I need one. But if I have, and then I have a third, I had some gluten-free sesame seed sea salt crisp bread last night at like midnight, and a whole bunch of sourdough nibbler pretzels. So I'm counting that as my breakfast. When you eat that close to falling asleep, it doesn't really digest till the next day anyway. Just kind of sits there. Well, yeah, you're actually home today, so why not? It's been almost an hour. I would say late, not early. Son of a bitch. Yeah, well, it didn't matter. Not here. I'm at a crisp 44. Ow, my neck. Ba, ba, ba. Okay. Bro, man, are you in Canada, Sweden? Am I remembering completely wrong? I mean, either one of those makes complete sense. Okay, I was way off base. Well, that still makes sense depending on where in Ohio you are, because the further north you go in Ohio, the colder it gets. Somebody's in Canada with a similar username. I'm just misremembering. And like, I know what it is, I can see it in my mind's eye, but I just can't pull up Dreg. That's what it is. The last Dreg, I think, is in Canada. I have to go to Columbus, Ohio next week. It's the time of year. As things get nicer, things get warmer, people take breaks. Lucy's in prison. Are you? Wow. It was going down. There's no reason that should have killed me. I have no idea. The thing was going down, not up. That is quite annoying. If I die again on an early run, I'm just going to switch back to Zelda. Although I have to work soon, so I don't know. Did they sit on your face and try to smother you while you slept? Cats tend to do that. My cats don't. They all try to fight for who gets to sit on my lap, which sometimes can be quite annoying because there's so many of them. I have like 3 different cats. One on my legs, one on my lap, and then one on my shoulder. It's like, you guys can sit on the couch, you know? Oh, they're good for that, too. Getting underfoot. Morning, Tom. How's the big cleave this morning? Is it cold where you are too? I'm heading like halfway your direction next week, sir. I got a training seminar in Columbus. I've been to Columbus a few times. I went to Nationwide Arena whenever the Rangers were in town to play the Blue Jackets. It's like a 3-hour drive. It's not that bad. I went to Cleveland once for work. That was like a 5.5, 6-hour drive. And I think it was like 2 hours from Pittsburgh, where I was. I will say the only thing I have ever done in and around Columbus is Nationwide Arena. But apparently there's like a big college or something right there in Columbus. Yeah, I don't know which one. I just know there's apparently some big college there, but I don't even stay overnight anymore. If I go to the hockey game, I just drive in, go to the game, and drive home. If I send Cheeseburger and I have someone go with him, then I'll get them a hotel for the night. But why? How far is Columbus? No! Son of a bitch. I don't classify almost 4 hours as not too far. That's still pretty far. Oh my god, Sonic, why are you not making this jump? Screw it. I'm not fond of the idea of driving 6 hours. It's drivable for sure. I've done it. I drove from Connecticut to Florida and back. Doesn't mean I like it. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Morning, Kelly. Thing is, I'd rather drive Tom 6 hours to get to a location that takes 6 hours to get to. Whereas growing up in Connecticut and New York, I could drive 6 hours, and Zero, you can attest to this, to go someplace that should take me 2 hours to get to because of traffic. So I'd definitely rather do that, but but 3.5 hours is still pretty far out of the way if I'm in a city for a work convention. That would total 7 hours round trip. But I'm going to drive to Columbus. I mean, 3 hours, I'm not going to fly. There'd be no point. There's no direct flights, so it'd be longer to connect somewhere to get to Columbus than to just hop in the car. That was what was so nice about going to Buffalo from Saratoga back in the day. I mean, it was boring, granted. It was 4 hours of nothing but highway and cows. Ow. Where did we? Oh, we left off in Casino Night on the last run. Alright, so this time, hopefully we don't get scammed on the squish blocks. Did they file... Did they file a police report against a neighbor for animal endangerment? That would have reamed their ass. There's, I don't know about Pennsylvania. Kentucky, that's a misdemeanor, and there's like a $500 to $1,000 fine. There's one for animal endangerment, and then there's a misdemeanor for abandonment. You know when people just dump their dogs outside the shelter thinking they can, and then the cops trace them by their license plate and they get $1,000 fines? It's insane. No crushing this time, Blocks. No jank scam here. And there's an achievement in this game for getting a jackpot in this level. I think I grinded that for so long yesterday that I got a timeout death twice before I gave up. Ow. None for you, Eggman. Ah, you... Alright. Asshole. Well, this is officially the furthest run of the morning. There's a kill plane in here, too. Where the lava is, if you have the invincibility shield, you can get scammed and squished at the doorway. Cost me a run yesterday there. Although last night was the worst against the Metropolis boss. Losing that run because my ring fell off screen. Alright, I'll show you where I got scammed yesterday. Right here. Because the freaking lava elevated and I got crush planed for no reason. Yes, I did. I have magic shoes. I mean, they gotta be. If Sonic doesn't wear anything but shoes and gloves and he's naked otherwise. But... right? No, I had the invincibility monitor. Like the Mario Starman. Although, ironically, in most Mario games, even with the star, lava's insta-death. I did download New Super Mario Bros. For the Wii. That is on our list. We're just waiting for when you're not so busy that you're forgetting meals. I counted out 8 and I still landed in the lava on that one. As much as I love Sonic 3 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I will say Sonic 2 had some incredibly kick-ass music. Oh, man. You got a really busy couple months coming up then. That one always scares me too, because I feel like I'm going to get squished. Into the city? New Orleans? That's got to be a treat. I've never been there. By the way, is it New Orleans or New Orleans? Or is it like a tomato-tomato situation? Alright, so I had it right. One of the managers yesterday was looking through the metro areas. Like, well, this dealership is Indianapolis area, kind of near Louisville. And I'm like, did you just seriously say fucking Louisville? Like, really? Even the wackadoo pronunciation that they use out here where they say Louisville makes more sense than Louisville. That's the part I don't get with Louisville either, though. Like, it was named for King Louis, hence Louisville. But yeah, Louisville was... was like, come on, man. Alright, there's some rings. Oh, definitely. New York, too, particularly the reservations and the towns that have Native American names always get mispronounced. Not even going to try to pronounce that. There was one town near Greenwich, I think it was like Mianus or something. But because it's spelled M-I-A-N-U-S, people always called it Mianus. That was always an interesting town name. Or, what's the one in Massachusetts? Worcester? There, yeah, there you go. We're thinking the same thing. How many people call it Worcester? I don't know if I even said it right, but I think it's closer to Worcester than Worcester. I just remember it being closer to like Worcestershire sauce than Worcester, which is another thing people say, Worcestershire sauce. They call Bangor, Maine, Bangor. But I thought Bangor... Isn't it... Hold on. I think I might be wrong. I thought it was Bangor. I wouldn't think that would lend itself to Bangor. Which means I've been misspelling it for years. But it helped me pronounce it right. Although I think there's a Bangor in Idaho or Iowa or something that's spelled that way. Somewhere in my travels. Stupid octopi. The one town, I think it's, what is it, in Long Island? Metuchen. A lot of people call it Metuchen. Oh my god, this zone is really pissing me off. I mean, I haven't died at least, but... Then in New York, in Boston Spa, some people would call it Balls Ton instead of Boston. Nobody knew where it was either. People would be like, oh, where are you from? Boston Spa. Oh, where the heck is that? Alright, sir. Have a good appointment. Don't forget to pay for your speed rub on the way out. They don't like it if you forget payment. So I stopped saying Boston Spa after a while and just started saying Saratoga, and everybody knew where Saratoga was. That's because you don't have Kelly's luck. Funny how there was always certain towns and cities across the tri-state area out there, the northeastern, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, then New England, Vermont, Maine, that area where everybody would just know the city. You could have never been to the state once, but you could always pick out those like 1 or 2 cities per state. Connecticut, it always felt like it, you know, people always knew Stamford and Hartford. And for the not so pleasant reason, they always knew Bridgeport. You remember that, yes, New Haven, yes, for sure, New Haven. Yale is in New Haven, right? If I'm remembering correctly. That Family Guy Christmas special, there's more broken glass here than Bridgeport, Connecticut. They show the guy writing the letter, "Dear Family Guy people." I thought it was funny. My first apartment ever after leaving my parents' house was in Bridgeport because it was all I could afford. I couldn't afford New Haven, Stamford, any of the bigger cities. And I didn't want to cram in like 10 people to an apartment just to live in New York, Stamford, Hartford, you know, Waterbury, low battery. Although as I say low battery, I realize you guys didn't hear that message, only I did. Oh, I know. It was crazy. Listen, I had a 2-bedroom, like 800 square foot apartment in Bridgeport in 2010 until maybe 2013, and it was $1,200-$1,300 a month back then for Bridgeport. I have no idea what they're going for now, but when I moved to Saratoga, I got a 2-bedroom, like 1,300 square foot townhome. Forget apartment. And it was $1,600 a month out in Saratoga Springs. Now, I'm sure that price has gone up in the years since, because that was 2017, but... Yeah, Meriden, I think, is pretty expensive, if I'm remembering right, too. My brother still lives in an offshoot of Hamden, somewhere. Motherfucker. He's getting married at some country club near New Haven in September. I'll be traveling to Connecticut for his wedding. Morning, Hicks. So it seems like they're going to start offering direct flights to Hartford from Louisville starting in August. So I might actually get lucky and be able to take a direct flight and not have to connect anywhere. My mother refuses to take connecting flights because she did it once and she did not have a good experience. I mean, she hates to fly to begin with. She won't fly without... Yep, Sonic's exercising for me. She can't fly without Xanax to begin with. So, if we can't get a direct flight to Hartford, we're going to have to go to LaGuardia or Newark and then drive. Or at the very least, her and my father are. I mean, I can do whatever I want, but we're trying to travel all together to make it easier. This one level, Kelly, was as far as you got? Yeah, there's country clubs every like 2 miles in Connecticut, and I'm sadly only vaguely exaggerating. That's true, Higgs. Oh, the oil. No, Mystic Cave? Yeah, Mystic Cave's after the casino. God, I hate those stupid praying mantises. Funny enough, Hicks, when I lived in Saratoga, the Saratoga County Airport, very, very tiny airport, mostly for private aviation, was right across the street. And you'd see, for a span of like 9-10 months, 2 planes, 3 at the most. Nobody ever used it. And then from July to Labor Day weekend, 10, 20 planes a day. All the private jets coming in to go to the track, either because they just wanted to go or because they had horses running. So the entire time the track was open, you'd get 10, 20 planes. I know the owner of my old dealership, Fusillo, he had like 30, 40 dealerships. He had a horse stable. And I saw a few of his horses in the program a couple times. But I remember as a kid, we were staying at the Sheraton Hotel in Saratoga, which is no longer a Sheraton. It became a Ramada, then it became a Hilton. The building's still there, but, you know. We go to get on the elevator, and the doors open up to the lobby, and who walks out of the freaking elevator but George Steinbrenner? That same week, we were out to dinner, and we looked over at the bar, and eating food at the bar was Bill Parcells. I mean, I was like 9, 10 years old. I didn't even know who George Costanza was back then. Yes, he would. To be fair, at the time, I didn't know who George Steinbrenner was either. My dad had to tell me. Although, to be fair to the flip side of that, I grew up a Yankees fan, so I probably wouldn't have told him off anyway. My dad, on the other hand, is a Mets fan, so it's not like he took the time to talk to him. Anyway. Hello. The point I was wrapping back around to is the Steinbrenner family was always very involved in thoroughbreds, particularly in Tampa. They had their farms. They still have their farm, thoroughbred farm in Tampa. They run them in the tracks down there, but they still run some horses in Saratoga every year. I think it's Hank that runs the thoroughbred operation now, and Hal runs the Yankees. Ow. I really like to have more than 3 rings here. Oh, no, now I've got 1. Or 2. God, I hate this level. Hello, Mr. Praying Mantis. Unfucking believable. I didn't stop low enough for him to avoid detecting me. I was gonna go see if there was some rings, but there's another praying mantis there, so it's not worth the risk. Okay, why did that not come back? The other screw should have respawned. Screw you, starfish. There we go. Okay, he's gone. I'm like, this stupid mantis is going to be sitting here somewhere. Fortunately, he wasn't. This is where my run died last night because my rings flew off screen. The next two biggest points of concern are the Death Plains in Winged Fortress and the Death Egg robot glitch. Plays Harold. Alright, maybe I should be a little less reckless because losing a run to Sky Chase Zone would not only be embarrassing, it would be frustrating.
Zeroing 211 asked me, "All right, Attenborough, tell us about Sonic like this was an Earth 2 documentary." Here we observe Asterisk Sonicus hedgehogus asterisk, a creature of immense speed and questionable life choices. Note the reckless abandon with which they hurl themselves into buzzsaws, a truly perplexing, albeit mesmerizing spectacle.
What's up, Tate? That emote should be called BAWLS. It needs to be balls. As in golf ball. The sad part is the only reason I know it's an emote is because I look at my on-screen chat. In Streamlabs, it literally just says the word balls. Sorry, Tails, this is where you and I part ways. Alright, I managed to do this level without taking damage yesterday. So hopefully I should be able to do it without dying today, but it depends on these jumps right here. That's the shit I'm talking about. He just fucking misses. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Unbelievable. You get all this way and Sonic just doesn't grab the ledge. I don't have the heart to continue. I'm punishing Sonic and letting him die for game over, and then I gotta get ready for work. wonder if there's an upper path I could use to skip that. That's alright, I gotta get ready for work now anyway. That run was gonna be the last of what I could do. Still frustrating as all living hell. Oh, man. Alright, heading out for now. Come back with more Zelda / Sonic later tonight, but have a good rest of your day, everybody.